Good. Guys are playing well right now. Same thing I said last week. I feel like feeding off of each other and taking advantage of certain situations. We still haven't had 4 quarters of the execution that we are looking for, and got a lot to clean up still. Formationally and whatnot, offensively, and obviously, last week giving up the trick play on, just bad eyes in the secondary and. Things like that, eventually are going to get us beat. So we got to be better with that kind of stuff. But the energy and the way the guys are playing right now, you can't ask for much more. Yeah, I think they're confident right now. I think the trust in what we're doing scheme-wise in all 3 phases is there. And, we don't have a whole lot of situations right now in the first 3 weeks where there's guys questioning where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. So I think that helps. The staff has done a great job with what we did during camp and last spring ball, getting these younger guys ready to go for that first kickoff. So, we're 3 weeks in now, and I said this last week as well, right? We don't have young guys anymore. Guys know who's playing, and we've got some experience. So understanding the game plan and trusting it, knowing where we're kind of deficient at right now in terms of, whether it be position or certain spots in scheme getting cleaned up. So, right now it's just collectively a group effort in all 3 weeks, and we got to continue that. Yeah, we acknowledge it. It's a positive thing for the guys to see it. It's, when you're in college, a cool thing to see yourself ranked, but at the end of the day, it means nothing. At no point did we ever talk about one of our team goals being to be ranked wherever we are right now. That's cool for about 2 seconds, and then the guys got to understand what we can control and can't control, and you keep winning games. Obviously, you stay in the rankings. You go lose, and that's no longer a deal anymore. So it has no effect on our locker room. Happy for the guys to be shown some recognition for what they've done up to this point, but at the end of the day, it means absolutely nothing to what we want to get done. Yeah, I thought he played really well in the first half on Saturday. Not that he was bad in the second half. I don't mean it that way, but we got to the point where those first 3 drives, especially, everything was clicking and really good mechanically. Did a nice job of taking what the defense was giving him, and some big plays came out of what he was exploiting from the secondary look and whatnot. So that's all great to see. He was the first one to admit we didn't even get the film. We were still in the field on Saturday, and he brought up some throws that he had missed. And, it just a young Q getting to the point where you get a little bit, lackadaisical, if you will, with your feet. And, things are still moving fast. And he was kind of in a tempo mode where he's got to stay on the gas when we get to that point, and especially when he's got a hot hand like he did, to stay on top of that. But it's things that I keep stressing come with reps, and as you grow in that position, understanding the pace that you need to play at mentally, and obviously the feet will follow with that. So still a lot for that guy to get better at, but at the same time, on top of the plays that he made in the structure, made a whole bunch running around as well. So love what he's doing right now. But, when he starts getting to the point where, he's 100 miles an hour with everything, obviously we've got some stuff we need to correct. Yeah, and Bryce Kearns had an incredible game as well. And, I think that makes the offense tougher to defend when not only do you have guys that are capable of making plays on the outside, but when the Q is seeing the whole field and getting everybody involved, a little tougher to defend because you're not just keying on one guy at that point. So did a nice job spreading the football around. A lot of people touched it, and ultimately when the guys got the football in their hands, they made plays. A lot of those throws that we had on Saturday were 5 yards or less, and you're making one miss, and then it's turning into 25-yard gain rather than 5. So the guys on the outside did a nice job for him, but that's part of playing the position as well, as trusting your guys to go make a play for you where it doesn't have to be vertical shot after vertical shot. We hit a couple of them and missed on the one with the defensive holding penalty, but the amount of plays that the guys made in our quick game or even the extension of our run game last week was awesome. And, I think he's got trust in everybody that's on the field at that point. Yeah, I mean, I said this after week one. We knew what kind of talent he was and what he was capable of. A lot like Bueno. Nick is still young as well, along with those other guys. And, there's some other areas of the game when Nick doesn't have the football in his hands that he needs to take a little bit more pride in. And he knows that, and we've talked to him about it. And he will. He's a physical kid, strong. But, whether it be AB running around when things break down or our tailbacks getting things to that next level, our wide receivers need to do a better job at the point of contact. Nick being one of them. It's not just him, but, where they're taking more pride in the run game outside of just when I have the football in my hands or when I know I'm called in a shot play. So he made a ton of plays on Saturday, Nick did. But there's some parts of his game that as he gets more reps will mature into a complete wide receiver as well and do the things that we need in this offense for some of those 5-yard runs to turn into 15-yard runs. It 100% is. I think, you give a ton of credit to the guys up front, Coach Russman, and what they're doing, with the front five and the tight ends in our run game. At the end of the day, anytime you have a cue like AB where a defense has to account for him, it's one other thing that helps free things up. So, the further and further we go into the schedule, obviously the boxes are going to get a little bit more stout starting this week and moving forward to where, it's not going to come quite as easy as it has. But, the guys up front right now are playing with confidence. They've all played together for significant time now, start going back to the middle of last year. So, again, the cohesion of those front five all on the same page, and then, again, getting the tight ends involved, Q run game, it helps everything out. So I like what they've done in the first 3 weeks. Obviously, we've won the rushing battle in the first 3 weeks, which is huge for us, setting up everything else with our play action and our pass game. But, they got to continue to get better and progress as a unit. Again, it's just like every other position. You go back and watch it on film, and, of course, we think there's things that they could do better, and they agree with that. So, if you're going to be a good football team, you got to get better from one week to the other, regardless of what happened in the first three. So we got some stuff to fix, and those guys are coming. Yeah, everything. I mean, again, I felt like Saturday was a lot like week one against Bemidji. We give up the opening possession drive, and then really after that, we didn't give up anything outside of the trick play right before half, which our guys see a ton. They knew it was coming. We run it against them. It's one of those deals where scheme-wise, we did a nice job of getting somebody right off the edge, and the kid just made a play. So, we got to be better with that kind of stuff, especially when you get somebody on the ropes. Make them one-dimensional. Those kind of gadget-type plays can't be the ones that beat us, where you got to be able to keep that stuff in front and not get enticed by the eye candy in the backfield. So, but yeah, we were physical on Saturday. Eventually, towards the middle of the third quarter, fourth quarter, our D-line started to lean on their offensive line a little bit and was pushing them back in the backfield where the kid didn't have a pocket to sit in and ended up getting some sacks. So, it was a good overall effort from that side for sure. Porter's just a physical kid. I mean, he's kind of the, guy that gets the tempo set on that side. He doesn't say a whole lot, but when he speaks, it's usually something good coming out of his mouth, and gets our guys to play with that toughness that we need to play with on our side. And but it's not just him. I think everybody on that side of the football right now is, especially when we get a team to be as one-dimensional as we did with South Dakota Mines and Hillsdale, they pin their ears back a little bit at that point, and then it's fun to play defense when you get to that spot. So, but Porter's been awesome. The confidence in Avery's never been a question for us. We felt like going into the year he was going to be a weapon for us, and he will be. The positive thing on Saturday was the whole operation was just significantly better than it's been. So never a question of whether or not Avery could get it done. We had some breakdowns in protection. The snap to hold was taking a little longer than we wanted it to. So we got some stuff corrected last week with Coach Milbreath and that whole entire unit. And, I think those guys from the snapper to the holder and everybody up front took a little pride in what we were doing last week and didn't have any issues with the kicking game last week. Very athletic offensively. They've got some receivers that can go. Quarterback is very talented and does a nice job with his patience in the pocket. So they are going to stress us vertically, horizontally in the pass game on Saturday, and we've got to find a way to get pressure to the Q so he can't just sit back there and do what he wants. But very good from their skill spots offensively. Defensively, back end is talented. A lot like we saw the first 3 weeks in the box. They're big, physical. So they are a very good football team. Got beat by an FCS school in week 1 off and then blew out Mines last weekend. So our guys know what's coming in here, and we'll be prepped for that, but they are talented. Yeah, I mean, it's you want to take care of your non-conference. That is something that we talk about around here. But it's this is the next game at this point, right? So without sounding too coach speak, what it means if we get this one done, being 4-0, the rankings, none of that matters. Our guys know, we need to play our best football to win this game, and then whatever comes from that we'll deal with. But, our focus right now is on executing our stuff against a very good football team and making sure we take care of business at home. Every year, depending on who our personnel is, it adapts a little bit. Scheme-wise, we're not running anything different than we have in the past. Alex obviously has a little bit more of a green light, Bueno, in terms of the run game to pull it and go than we gave Alex Freeze. But we had some of that stuff in the package last year. Alex Bueno is just different with his feet than what we've had here in a long time. So, so that part is different. But what we're calling everything, what we're running is what we've done since I've been here. So a little bit different with the Q run game, but it's same exact schemes and same deals. Probably calling a more run game with Alex being an option now than we have in the past, obviously with what he can do. But scheme-wise, it's not different at all. I don't care how we get it done as long as the ball is moving forward. Our tailbacks need to get more touches when the defense dictates that. But if they're giving us reads in our run game that calls for the Q to pull it, then, AB's obviously got to be able to take advantage of that. But, you go through this schedule, you start creeping towards GLIAC play. Do we want Bueno carrying it 30 times a game? Probably not. But if it's 5, 8, 15 yards where we can step out of bounds or get down, then we're good with that. We just don't need him taking unnecessary shots. So sometimes you can't help it, but our tailbacks are very capable of doing the same thing as long as the defense is giving us a look to do that. So it'll happen at some point. Knock on wood, we've been pretty good. We got some bumps and bruises that we're dealing with right now, but as of right now, nothing that's going to keep anybody out. So, we'll hope that is the case by the time Saturday rolls around, but we've been pretty fortunate through 3 weeks to get through fairly healthy. Yeah, Dante's been awesome and has been for a while now. But that particular play, the way the game was going, we give up the trick play on the drive before. We're in the red zone and don't get a blatant offside call. Try to take a shot. They get the football back and with a chance to go in and tie it up before half. It could have been significantly different going into the locker room. So, they run a double move to try to get us. And, Dante, being the vet that he is, doesn't bite on it and makes a great play on the football and kind of calms everything down going in the locker room. So it was a huge play at the time, and he played a phenomenal game the whole time outside of that play. But, that's what you expect from your vets, your leaders, right? He's a captain on our leadership council, starter for 2 years, all-conference kid. Those are the kind of plays that those guys need to make to keep us in those types of situations. So, but yeah, it was awesome to see right before the half for sure.